Hey everyone, welcome to episode 87 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and we've got a great show today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some amazing homes. They've both got pools. We thought it would be a great way to kick off the summer. And in the second half, we've got some really great articles that we dug around and lots of great information about real estate. And we thought it would be a great time to kind of go over some of that stuff with you.
We're going to make some predictions.
Make some predictions. There you go. Well, what's some of the things that we're seeing right now with the Ebby Halliday Company? I think they just came out with a really great piece of information.
They really did. You know, it's been, I think, 2 years ago that our company was purchased by Berkshire Hathaway, and they have really stepped up a lot of the marketing, a lot of the advertising, and they've really done some really cool stuff in terms of coordinating our branding. And so, you know, the company we work with or work for is Dave Perry Miller Real Estate, but we're now part of Ebby Halliday Companies and Williams True out of Fort Worth. We've really seen kind of a weird market this year. The spring market's really gotten delayed a bit.
Correct.
But in our company, we still continue to outperform the other companies in the MLS. Our marketing department set this down and said in the MLS, the number of listings in May 2020 versus April 2020 was up 24% in the MLS, but they were up 55% in the Ebby Halliday Company. So we're a lot more property coming on the market with us. There are the same 24% number of pendings up between April and May of this year, but in our company they're up 54%, and you know we're even seeing that with the number of offers that we're writing right now, and you know the way the activity on our listings are.
Yep, and you actually put together a backup offer yesterday. For Cedar Creek Lake.
Yeah, we had a buyer who wants to buy a house, buy a lot, you know, something on the lake there. And there was one that came on the market, and the first day it came on the market, it went under contract, and we're trying to get in a backup position on it. So we'll see how that pans out.
And I'll be working with a client this weekend. And if you've got something that's off market, that's going to be inside of the uptown area, that's a 1-bedroom in one of the more walkable areas, I'd love to know more about it. We've got some scheduled, but we're always looking for something that's coming soon or that hasn't quite hit the market. So let us know.
Absolutely.
So Jeff, what else is going on in your timetable? Oh, you were bike riding.
I've been bike riding a lot, trying to get rid of my COVID-19.
How's that going? How was today's bike ride? You went this morning, right?
I did. I went this morning. I got to tell you, this morning's bike ride was one of the most beautiful mornings for a June morning in Texas. It was, probably 69 degrees, and it had just a little bit of brisk chill in the air. But we rode, 15 miles. I meet. Y'all have met my friend Ray that came on the show. And, we have another friend named David that meets us, and Adrian went with us this morning. And we, meet at one point. We take off, ride to one end of it, and come back to that point, and ride to the other end, and come back. And
look at y'all.
15 miles round trip 3 times a week.
Look at y'all. It's amazing.
What's going on with you?
So I am packing like a machine. It is sold the place, and I'm now moving to Northwest Dallas. I'm really excited about that. I think people have made fun of me because I have started packing so early. I was asking Ziggy, what's the name of the lady on Netflix? Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo. My style of packing makes her look like a hoarder. So I have my boxes labeled, and I've got my key set up so I know exactly where everything is. My goal on it is just to make sure that I only unpack when I need something, just because we're kind of getting into a little bit of a different house. I don't quite need to pull everything out, but stay tuned. And if you need a mover, we used we're going to use Full House Moving, and they are amazing. So we'll put their information in the contact below.
Yeah, Michael's been on the show with us before, and they really do a great job. You've used them several times. Adrian's used them a couple of times. I haven't moved anywhere in 30 years, so it's, I haven't had the chance. But we've had a lot of clients that have used them, and moving's one of those things that something is going to go wrong. There's something that's going to get broken or dented or chipped or whatever, and the quality of the mover to me is always, how do they handle those types of things when it's done? And Michael's always stepped right up and made sure that the customer was happy.
So here's an interesting thing, too, that I didn't know that they could do. I actually visited with Michael, and Michael had a pallet of boxes, tape, moving or wardrobe boxes, and then like a giant roll of bubble wrap that was about this tall and is about like that big around. Huge. Sent to the house. And so, yeah, I'm paying for it. But the deal is it was on a pallet, and then I just use these fresh boxes. The other thing, too, is because then you don't have to worry about the boxes like having like weak spots or bugs in them, because I don't want that. And so it just made life so much easier to do this. So, again, Full House Moving, Michael takes care of you. He's got a great website, and he has a really great Better Business Bureau rating. So check him out.
Yep. So let's jump into our properties this week.
I'm excited about the properties. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be 3441 Kinkaid Circle, and we're going to be in Webb Chapel Estates. And this is actually close to where I'm going to be moving.
Not very far.
Not very far.
Yeah.
And this is a really up and coming neighborhood. We're seeing a lot of houses in this area that are going through either they're scraping and coming back with new design, or they're actually coming in here and doing a really good flip on the homes.
Yeah. The tornado in October went, basically it started just to the west of here, went very close to where this house is. And continued its path over. But what that has meant for a lot of the homes in this neighborhood is they have the opportunity to rebuild or redo or renovate, and the convenience factor on this neighborhood is just through the roof.
Yep. So whether you're going to Love Field or need to get to 635, your north-south feeders are also really great. Getting to 35 is not a problem, and scooting over to 75 is also going to be pretty effortless, and you can vary your route depending on where the traffic is. So it's one of those areas that is really nice. There are quite a few parks in the area, which make it great, and we're seeing more and more grocery stores come into this area, from Sprouts, Trader Joe's, Central Market, that are really showing up, because you know me, I like my grocery stores. So I'm going to know that they're in this area, and that's a great way to get in and out.
Yeah, and this house is probably about 3 blocks away from the North Haven Trail.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you're biking.
Yeah.
Okay. So great. So moving on to that house.
Yeah, 3441 Kinkaid. This is the drive up you get, and talk about curb appeal on this. Windows have all been replaced, new roof, just has a big wide front porch. It's definitely one that you could have your swings out on, or a couple of chairs and a table, and just not feel crowded at all.
And they've really gone the extra step in this house. And a lot of the times we're going to see tile in here, but they also have stamped cement that you can see right here on the right-hand side of the dining room. And they've done a great job of actually scoring it. So it's not like just poured cement that's been stained, just kind of has that feel for it. One of the things I love about this is homes that can actually reimagine what this front formal space was used for. And they've actually pitched and put the second seating area towards the back, so it kind of hugs the wall and feels a little more intimate, and then pushed the dining room more towards the front, and you get a great view of that window overlooking the front yard.
Yeah, and you get a 10-person dining room there.
It's great.
The kitchen's been done beautifully. Granite countertops. You can see the tumbled stone and the mixed tile backsplash. Stainless steel appliances. Cabinets have all been repainted, and new pulls, new door pulls, drawer pulls on them. And it still has that bar that opens up to the living room without having to take out all that space.
And the other thing, too, that we noticed as we were walking through the house is these are double-paned windows that have been replaced from the original, which is, again, one of those things that we love, lower utility bills and light. So I love to see can lights in these homes, just because at the turn when these were built, I think this was built in 1963, there weren't really that many times when they would do this. They were mostly just lamps.
Yeah, and this has a back porch that has been enclosed and added into the main room, but these people use it for kind of keeping a dog area off there. But with the dog gate out of the way, it looks beautiful. It opens up very, very nicely into the backyard. This is the master bedroom, and it also has a bathroom that's been redone very nicely with the custom tile, walk-in shower, great vanity, new fixtures, low-flow commodes.
And the great thing about this is the master's at the back of the house, and then bedrooms 2 and bedrooms 3 are down a hall that do connect, and they are, again, towards the front of the house, good sized, and again, we're seeing a limit in the amount of carpet, so we don't have the allergens and make it a great house. This right here is a quick view of the secondary bathroom. And look at this backyard.
Yeah, this just has an amazing pool in it. Really large pool. I think that was probably a diving pool at one time, because just because of the age of it. But it's got great seating out there. There is still plenty of room for, well, it shows right there, the outdoor storage and the play gym and the side yard for the dogs. And the roller gate was, I thought, really a great addition to this because you've got that good security.
3441 Kinkaid Circle. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. 63. I was right as when it was built. 2,200 square feet, 360, priced at 163 a foot. This is an amazing house on a cul-de-sac that you do not want to miss. If it's something that you're interested in or something similar to it, let us know. And in the meantime, I'd like to thank
Scott Carnes for letting us look at some today.
Yep. Thank you so much, Scott. All right. So now we're going to stay in the same general area, and we're just going to head north and to the east.
Just
Just to the east. So this is 4116 Goodfellow Drive. And again, almost the same age, a little bit bigger lot. But the area is still what we would consider, they would be cousins in that area.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
This is in Forest Knoll Estates, which is right off of Forest and Midway. That little alley right there is called the private school alley because of, virtually every denomination of private school that you want to have, you can find there.
Yep.
There are some very good public elementary schools in the neighborhood as well, and I think that's one of the big draws to people coming back into these neighborhoods and buying these homes is the, DISD. You can send your kids to that. You're already paying for that through your property taxes, so, why not make the schools better and send them there? Convenience factor is really great on this one. Still have great access to 635, the Dallas North Tollway. You could be downtown. I have a friend that lives right around the corner from this, and I think it's maybe 20 minutes to my house. So it's really super convenient.
And this is one of those homes that actually, this neighborhood did not get hit by the tornadoes.
No, did not.
And so when you're in the neighborhood, the great thing about it is how many trees there are still. And they're really tall trees. I remember pointing a couple of the trees out to Jeff, and I was like, I think that's like a 45-foot tree. And they've done such an amazing job of raising canopies throughout the street that it has a very mature but a very welcoming, not a dark where it's like, kind of can't see. It's a great neighborhood.
Yeah,
over there.
real wonderful. Great drive-up appeal on this one. You can see it's also got the very big front porch on it. The windows have been replaced with just they're double pane windows, but they don't have any dividers in them in those front two there. And that is definitely a change from how this was before. I think those probably had 2 or even 3 vertical windows in each one of those.
Yeah, and once we come inside, they've done a really good job of interpreting the space. And as you can see here, buyers are really drawn towards these vaulted ceilings, great light front and back, and then this space, the really nice open space. They've actually gone ahead and created walls to give you a private office. I think with so many people sheltering in place, the concept of being at home more has taken on a different set of priorities.
Really has. And the living room, this has that very typical kitchen that's open to the living room. Lots of bar space there. I think you've got seating for 4 or 5 there. And just the ability to kind of set these seating areas up in whatever way you want is really, it's amazing now.
This is one of my favorite ovens right there, that Viking oven. It just reminds me of my days when I actually worked in a kitchen, and it opens up and then has the convection oven below. And I believe that is a Viking 8 burner top, which is with a pot rack. Again, these are the amenities that so many people want today. Lots and lots of cabinet space, lots and lots of countertop space, and a really nice secondary, if this is what you want to make your secondary dining room, that again, lots of great light.
This is the master bedroom that is off on the eastern side of the home. You do have access out to the backyard from this room. Really a great, great master bath with all of the marble-like tile that they've done, the rimless glass in the shower, the separate potty room. This is the secondary bath, which had the double vanities or double sink in it. And this is the really cool part of the house, I thought.
Absolutely.
So this is actually a separate living area. The room that is right there to the door to the right opens to the kitchen. This is a separate living room that goes into a separate bedroom that has its own private bath.
Yeah, it's best for like mother-in-law, extended stays, whatever. We love the way that worked out.
Yeah, it really was. Beautiful backyard, great pergola. You've got some covered outdoor space. And again, that really sparkling, spectacular, really large, great big party pool.
It's awesome. It is a great place. And if this is something, again, that you're interested in, here's a really good quick overview to kind of give you an idea. And also, I think we need to point out the 3-car garage.
Yep, 4116 Goodfellow Drive, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3-car garage, built in 1961, a little over 3,100 square feet, priced at $899,900, which brings it in about $288 a square foot. And we would like to say thank you to Debbie Sherrington for letting us talk about her home.
Beautiful home.
Yep, great home.
Yeah.
So, loved those homes this week. They were both spectacular.
They were, and they were in the same area, same age, and they got a little pool on them.
So be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will be right back. There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 87 with Sold with Updike Pugh. And today we are going to talk about real estate trends and predictions.
Yes. Seems like there's so many headlines out there right now. And Jeff and I wanted to take and pull some of this because we typically want to make sure that we know things from a 30,000. What is NAR saying, National Association of Realtors? Where does it look like it's coming from? Texas, and then also what's going on here just in the DFW and the Dallas area.
Yeah, real estate is, real estate is local, but it's also heavily influenced by everything that goes on a national level. And, with the pandemic that we've been dealing with for the last 6 to 8 weeks, one of the things that we've seen is, I think was very expected was there was this really big plunge in pending home sales in April. This is a Housing Wire News article that referenced NAR's report about it. And the April pendings were down 21%. But, we're really thinking that May is going to be the low point in this.
And it's interesting that you're never able to know where the low point is until you actually see it start to come back. And this is what we have seen. I think we kind of started off the show by saying what the net results were and what EBBs were. And we definitely can say that there is the beginning to look back and say that was a low spot behind us.
New listings in May. For 2020, there were 14,735 listings that came in new into the market, and that is fewer than came into the market in May of 2019, but only by, less than 1,000 or so.
And that's with us scrambling to get to that 14,000. Can you imagine if we had been full trucking from the months before? We could have definitely gone past that 16,000 number, I would have guessed.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking in MLS this morning, and there were, 553 new listings just entered in the last 24 hours. So it's definitely on the swing up, which to me says if you're in the market to buy a home, if you are considering doing it, now is going to be a really good time to get into the market because there's going to be some really good property coming on in the next 60 days.
And what a great segue into the next one. We're talking about home buying is set to take off. And one of the indicators that we're looking at right here is the purchase mortgage applications. And it's really important that we hit the note on purchase and not refi, because this is people who are looking to come into the market and get a house, not actually refi their current home. And so this is a really strong indicator that we're excited about.
Yeah, and the new home, the purchase applications are up 18% over what they were a year ago. So that that in itself just tells you there are a lot more people that are really coming in to take advantage of mortgage rates. And
the interesting thing in this article, we're going to put all the links into the article in the comments, but in this article, the 15-year interest rates on average, I remember those being what people were using for interest-only ARMs in 2006 and 7. And I'm like, goodness, that is some amazing money right now.
Yeah, they were in the high twos, I believe is what that article said.
2.85.
Yeah. The average 30-year fixed rate mortgage has fallen in the last week from 3.37%, I'm sorry, from to 3.37% from 3.42%. That's a negligible fall, but it does continue to show that rates are still coming down slowly, just inch at a time, but they are.
They are. It'll be interesting to see. Have they leveled off? Have we seen them as low as they're going to go?
Yeah, and Realtor.com does a really interesting monthly newsletter or monthly housing trends report, and they did the one for May 2020, and just a couple of things that I thought stood out in that. One is that the national median list price hit an all-time high at $330,000, and that is 1.6% higher than it was a year ago.
It'll be interesting to figure out when they drill down where that came from.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, what price segment did that affected that most?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to know what caliber, because it wasn't just taken across the board. We're going to average it, but where did that really come in at?
Yeah, I would agree. The second was that this year, none of the top 50 metro locations saw a reduction in inventory. I'm sorry, they saw a reduction. They did not see an increase in inventory.
Right.
So
that's going to change here in a little bit as we get the building permits pulled. But that'll be a 6-month drag probably.
Well, and that really kind of rolls into the next article that talks about what we see happen in construction in 2020 is probably going to be a big influence on the 2021 remodeling season.
Oh yeah. Because if you think about it, and we always talk about, and we've got clients right now that are kind of debating about bringing their house on the market. And my point is that there is a shortage of inventory right now in the new home construction in this area that they live in. And my point was there will be people that still are going to have to relocate, they're going to have to downsize, or they're going to have to increase their house. And yours is going to fit, and you're a 30 to 45 day move, whereas a developer is going to be behind and not be able to capture that. So you're going to see that, but you're also going to see people who are just going to do the remodel and not go anywhere.
Yeah, the new permits issued and the new housing starts in April were off almost 30%. And so, builders smartly just kind of came to a stop in not knowing what was going to be happening. And so it takes time for even that end of it to cycle back up. So let's say it takes 90 days for the permits and the starts to start happening again. That, is a 6 to 12 month period before any of that inventory is ready to come to the market.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think that Jeff and I were talking about is that located here climate-wise, we're in an area where we actually can buy and sell, remodel, and start homes almost year-round. We do have some rainy seasons and whatnot, but for the most part, we're not in an area that really shuts down, either because people leave, it's not a vacation destination, and of a season, or because it's just almost impossible to get out and preview and look at homes because of the weather. So that always makes the Dallas market just a little bit easier to weather those times. Literally.
And I think one of the other things that we're kind of predicting is that we're going to see the higher prices in the market because of the lack of inventory is going to boost a lot of people's equity in their home. And there are a lot of people that's what they use to do their home renovation with. They'll get a second lien, they'll get a home equity line of credit. They may refinance and do a cash out refinance. We were talking to one of our really good clients yesterday about putting a pool in, and he did a tremendous amount of renovation on his house when he bought it, but he knows this is going to be a long-term house, and so he was kind of balancing that. Should I spend 75 or 80,000 on a pool, and how much of that will I get back? And I'm guessing he's probably going to do it because of the time he's going to choose to live there. It's going to make sense for him to have the enjoyment of that and enjoy where he lives even more.
Time is a big equalizer.
It really is.
It's one of those things that it allows you to defer all that across the years, plus you're enjoying it. We actually have clients that actually didn't have that, and it was a little bit more of a challenge to get them out of the house.
Yeah,
at that price point.
That's true.
The opposite is true as well. Moving on, millennials.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dallas.
Yeah, welcome to Dallas. Dallas is one of the top 10 markets for millennial buyers during the pandemic. And I think we can attribute that to a lot of different things. Almost a third of the residents in our market are millennials. Think about that.
I would agree with
I
that.
mean,
100% knowing
it's
who we work
yeah,
with.
there's so that is, and a lot of times they're going to be buying in that first, I'm going to call it the first time home buyer price point. It's going to be, around 300-ish and down.
Right.
And that is always the biggest pool of buyers and the biggest pool of inventory.
Yep. And the other thing too is one of the, I remember talking with Jason about this, and he said something like, how can we just have all these millennials moving here? And I said, well, think about all of the universities. They've never had a shortage in people. Maybe this year might be the first, but people get done with college and they move into larger metropolitan areas, and Dallas happens to be, for Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, one of the big draws. Hence, we have a large number of millennial buyers in this market right now.
Yeah, and and so if you think about it, and you've got either a single income household that's got a salary of close to $100,000, or you've got a dual income household that's got double whatever that is. One of the really interesting points that came out of this, and I'm going to read this because I want to make sure I say it right, is this study said a household earning $100,000 in North Texas can afford to buy 56% of the homes listed for sale, compared with 45% last year. And so and the two things that I kind of pull out of that is we are seeing some wage increase in the DFW market because there has been demand for those, a lot of those millennial buyers. But in addition to that, we've seen interest rates come down. And, with every quarter point reduction in the interest rate, you can go up by about 10% in your buying power.
Yeah.
And that, it makes a huge difference.
It does. It makes a difference between being in an area that you're absolutely in love with and being like, oh, man. And that's when people decide to wait and continue to rent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and nationally, again, millennials make up the largest pool of home buyers in most of these metropolitan areas. So if you are a buyer of any bracket, but specifically we were talking about millennials today, and you're considering buying that first home, then give us a call. We want to help you do that. We've done that hundreds and thousands of times. We actually just closed on a house yesterday. It was one of our friends' first house, millennial, great house, got a great deal. He couldn't be happier about it. So,
and the great thing too is that the relationships that we have with both title, with lenders, they go the distance.
They do.
And they really make that transaction smooth and easy, because we understand, actually going through it right now, the stress that there is involved in buying, selling, and moving. So I have a new appreciation, again, for making this as easy as we can on you every day.
Yes. So thank you very much for joining us today. We hope we brought some information to you that you can use. If there's anything that you'd like for us to talk about on the second segment, please just drop it into the comments. We'll be happy to do that for you.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.